Okay. It's wild. I've never heard myself. Yeah. When I've done podcasts, I never wore the headphones, so it was weird hearing my voice back.
So wait, so the type of podcast that you did before was just like a video?
No, it was literally in this room and everything, but like I was like I wasn't the main host,
Right.
so I was like the side host, and then I think there was only 3 headphones whenever we did them, or I just wouldn't wear them. I don't know why. I just never
Every
wore 'em.
time?
Yeah.
I feel like this is what like brings it to life, you know? Like,
Yeah.
this is what makes you feel great. That word literally came in like, happens to me a lot. So if I ever just like blank out, you know, just try right back in, you know? Ooh. Someone about to link. There we go. Wow, I'm actually really impressed with the
quality.
Yeah, on my FaceTime camera, because usually I bought a what's it called, a Logitech camera, streaming cam.
Yeah.
60 FPS, 1080 pixels, all that, just so I can get the best quality that I can.
Yeah.
Thinking that this wouldn't be something I would accept, but this is my first time looking at it on the live,
and it looks solid.
It's not bad.
Honestly, bro, I use my phone for everything. Like besides like some of the newer videos that we shoot with the Blackmagic.
Yeah.
Every video we've done has been with my phone.
You know, I never really slept on the iPhone game because I had a photographer. Like, this is when I first started up, and he's only used an iPhone 11.
I'm gonna start the recording, by the way.
Oh, I forgot. It's all good. It's all good. I'm still sending the link out anyway. But I had a photographer that was strictly iPhone 11. He had a gimbal for it, and I
got one of those drones too.
The gimbals that hold your phone and then you can move it with the button. Yeah. So I looked at him at first. At the time, I was skeptical. I'm like, wow, like I'm trying to get big here, man. Like we need one of them cooler cameras. He said, you got this. And then he shot I think it's the first video on my YouTube actually. It's Attached by Lim.
Okay.
He shot that video all iPhone, did all the edits on his own, and it came out really crisp, like 4K. Bro. And then he showed me the settings on my phone and how to get that quality, and I've never slept on iPhone since.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, bro. That was my favorite thing. Like, because I had cameras, and then I just wanted to take it back to the bare bones. So I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm going to just make my life as difficult as possible. And then the other thing is I don't edit on a Mac. I edit on a PC, and transferring files off of an iPhone to a PC is not easy. It's a pain in the ass.
I'm strictly like Mac to Apple because of AirDrop when it comes to transferring files.
I wish.
Like you saying that, doing the PC to phone, like
it's a nightmare.
Plugging it in.
No, bro, I gotta upload it to Google Drive, and to do that, to upload anything to Google Drive, you can't do anything else. So like you can't let your phone time out. So like you gotta leave your phone so like the screen's still on for like hours. Especially when you're filming in 4K and they're like multiple gigabytes of files.
You were in line. You were like, I'm gonna make sure I go through like the hardest trials right now.
Oh yeah, I made life as difficult as possible.
Built up the biggest patience. I'm still like putting the link on things.
Yeah,
I'm just hyped to talk. How you feeling, Riley? How you feeling?
I feel great, man.
That's good. It's a nice
happy to be
Sunday.
doing something today.
Yeah. Honestly, if this wasn't today, if we didn't move this to today, I could see myself sleeping in. Because, like, me with cloudy days and rain, it's just like, all right, it's a good day to chill inside. I usually take Sundays off, too, like, out of the week.
Yeah.
7-day work schedules were cool until, the burnout.
Oh, my God, man. I'm never going back. I worked my last job, and it's not happening again.
10 toes. He said 10 toes. Do not bring me a 9-to-5 offer.
Absolutely
not. Do not bring me the 9-to-5 offer.
Unless it's in the creative field. And that's what I mean. Like, I would work a job, but it has to be, like, in this field.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm never working another job where I'm, like, a fucking coffee barista or I'm a busboy or some shit like that. Like, for what? Like, it's literally making you, like, $8 an hour. That's not funding your dreams.
It's literally not going to fund your dreams. I mean, if you look into, how money's moving nowadays, yeah, dollar's not worth a lot.
No.
It's not worth
No.
And you're working for less than that.
Yo, absolutely.
And then they try to tell you it's normal. Then they try to say it's normal.
And the real thing is the time. Like, the getting money and all of that is good, even if it's not a lot. Like, having a couple $100 a week as an income, like, obviously you need to pay your bills, but if you got to work 40 hours to do that, your craft no longer receives anything.
Sorry, I try to
You're
get
good.
I want people to know that. I want everyone to know that I'm live with Riley right now. Go click the link in my bio. Appreciate the love, yo.
Yo, Shay, what's up with you?
Sub Shay, always showing love. Click the link in my bio. I'm live right now with Riley from HBC, Highest Basement Club. We're gonna get into, Highest Basement Club, your history in the music collective.
Yeah, my bad.
No, it's my bad. Don't say my bad when it's my fault. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into learning more about you, bro, and get into the conversation. So if you wanna see that conversation, tune in live. Link in bio.
It's
Good job, bro. Professional.
Bang, bang. All right. That's all the promo I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave the live up so people know the links in bio. So now we're officially jumping into it. You already know everything. So
Facts.
let's get back into what you were just saying though. Like, you wanted to find a job in the creative, like, you're cool with getting a 9-to-5 in the creative industry. Do you feel as though you felt that for like your whole life, or do you feel like there was a point where you decided like this is it, like this is where I know I'll be happy?
Yeah. I mean, it was really with the decision of starting an independent label and being a music manager. So like, that's the field I'm in. And then I kept getting jobs. Like, a few years ago, I walked out of my 9-to-5 on Twitter. Like, I filmed myself. I asked my boss for a raise from $8 to $10 an hour.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll give you $9. I was like, I'm leaving. I just walked out. And from there, I went like a year without working. And this is before fucking the pandemic hit and there was all this free government money.
Yeah.
But I just started, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I have no plan, no backup. I have no money to my name. Let's see if I can make it work.
Right.
Like, let's see if I can do marketing for people. Let's see if I could do videos and graphic design. And I did.
Yeah.
I wasn't living well. Like, I didn't have, like, any spare money or anything, but I was making all my bills. And to me, that was all I wanted, was really, like, to know that I could survive off of my craft.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing. So, like, getting a job in this field is why it's not something I'm necessarily looking for, but I wouldn't be opposed, because I do recognize the need for money, for sure. Absolutely. I'm just not willing to sacrifice and go, like, give labor to something that will never return it back to me, or that isn't even going to help me at all. Like, working in a deli isn't helping me in any way towards a music career.
No.
Or anything in the music
Unless
business.
you want to make, like, sandwiches for the people in the music.
Yeah. There's nothing to be gained except maybe, like, social skills. Like, that's about it, like, talking to customers. But, yeah, man, I don't want to commit myself to another person or a corporation's aspirations when they're not ever going to reciprocate that back to me in any way.
Did you think that initially when you quit though? Like, I was like, you were like, this is it. Like, I will never work a 9-to-5 again. Like, I'm sticking to this. Yeah. And if it doesn't work, that's it.
Yeah, and I did, like I said, I did that for a year, and then I got a job, like January, like the beginning of January of 2020. I was like, I folded, and I was like, fuck, I need to get a job. Yeah. I'd ran up my credit cards. Everything was maxed out. I was like, fuck, let me go, I'll fold and do it again. Worked there. I hated it. It was miserable.
Like, I can't imagine after going back.
Oh, my God. So, like, walking in, like, I tweeted the day I went back to working. I was like, I feel like a complete hypocrite and a failure. Because I completely went back on my dream. Yeah. And the weird part was, like, it's rare you hear someone get a job and say, I feel like a failure. But my whole goal was not to ever do that again. I worked there for a month, quit because I found another job at a smoothie shop with more money. Worked there for a week, and then COVID hit. and I've been unemployed again.
Yeah. But welcomed, super welcomed, right? You're like,
Oh,
fuck it,
yeah.
thank God.
Man, it hit, and I'm like, thank God I got a job for a month.
Yeah. I know
Now I got
exactly where you're coming
unemployment,
from.
I'm good.
Yeah. Bro, I feel like that type of free money from the government really opened the doors to like people understanding two things:
Mm-hmm.
what they can do with their time if they had it,
Yeah, exactly.
and what they can do if they invest their money in the right places.
Exactly.
Actually, maybe a third thing too, and this one's a little more rare, but I feel like a lot of people are put onto it. How do I make this money myself?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How do I make this money without going back to what I was doing?
Yep.
I realized a lot of the people that during this pandemic, I mean, at first it's like they weren't giving any money out. You know what I'm saying? At first.
Yeah.
And there was a real stressful time. Like people were like going down mentally. But I seen a lot of people bounce back to like better places because they couldn't go back to that 9-to-5 lifestyle. Like the way you're talking about it now, it really doesn't get you anywhere. We're living in a society that is telling kids, hey, like you just gotta be smart in these subjects, and then there's going to be someone who's going to offer you something and you should, work for them because it's going to pay you a lot of money.
Yep.
That's it.
Or go pay $100,000 for a degree so you can get that job.
And then still probably work for somebody else, but you can make more money.
Yeah.
That's it. And it all comes down to like, how can you spend your time doing somebody else's work? Now, not always. Now, I'm not trying to say that in a bad way because there's a lot of people that respect in industries like the medical industry.
Yeah.
Like, that is probably some of the most important people and knowledge that always needs to go around in history. So medical people, and then I respect the food industry, but the food industry on like a restaurant culinary level, not the fast food stuff. Because that's an anybody type thing.
Oh yeah.
And then I respect. That's actually it right now. I can think of it. But
public transportation.
Oh yeah,
stores.
civil workers.
Yeah.
I really respect civil because a lot of that stuff is even like you're not getting paid for that.
Yeah.
When you do like the food drives, the handing the stuff out, setting up the banks, the homeless shelters, even orphanages, the industry is not paid for. You're not getting paid. You're doing even teachers. That's what I meant to say. Education.
Oh yeah.
Like people. I wouldn't say this about all teachers in the past because I've had some personal teachers that cared more about the curriculum than the kid.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But teachers that I'm meeting now with the knowledge that we have in our generation, I respect the education system. But
yeah, I respect them a lot for trying to make it work in this because trying to teach 30 kids over Zoom is not easy. I have all little siblings too. So like I have a 14-year-old sister, a 10-year-old sister. That's just here. And then I have 4 other siblings in Cali, all similar ages.
Yeah.
But they're all not doing well because of being on Zoom for it. Like they hate it. They can't learn correctly.
And I feel like people, and I see it firsthand too. I got little siblings, so it's like crazy to say it. Like seeing firsthand how like my brother, he was doing well in school and then just appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like at first he was like, oh, I got it. Like I'll just get help. To all right, I mean, like, I'm trying, until, like, all right, it's just online school. Like, he knows it's online school, and there's a lot of people, like you said, like, it's just online school.
Yeah,
and, like,
I would have dropped out.
Yeah, personally.
Dropped out
even college kids, like,
yeah.
How are you supposed to learn online, for real? Like, that interaction is so important.
I did 1 semester of online classes in college, and I dropped out.
God bless you for even trying. As soon as they said that stuff was online, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
Because I was going to jump back in myself.
Yeah. And I'm all for education. I'm not for the privatization and like the way kids are just expected by their parents to go to these universities, and like you're applauded if you go to this $1 million a year tuition school. Like, damn, you're doing amazing. But now you're gonna be $5 million in debt by the end of it.
Unless you're that Poindexter with that scholarship.
Yeah, exactly.
That 1 in a million.
Exactly. But for the most part, people are just paying.
Yeah,
and
for a fact.
Like I know countless people that went in, came out,
and they say ridiculous numbers. They say numbers like for houses and cars. Like I never realized that initially going to college. Like, oh, you're gonna owe at the end of this like 30, 40, 50, 60.
It's insane.
I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's nothing. And then I go into the real world. I could buy a car.
I tweeted this like a week or 2 ago. I said, you'd look at me crazy if I told you I was going to go take out a $100,000 loan to get a job in 4 years.
Yeah.
If I go to the bank right now and say, I want to take out $100,000 so I can get a job in 4 years, you'd look at me like I was nuts.
You're psycho.
Yeah. But it's the same model.
Exactly.
It's the exact same model.
Like the music industry, yo.
Oh, man.
Like all the record deals and shit.
Oh,
same
God.
shit.
Even
they
worse.
playing everybody.
Even worse. the music industry is just playing people that don't have any money and are ready for an opportunity, and then they offer you the first amount of change you've ever seen in your life, and then you got to decide, like, am I selling my soul to this industry right now, or am I going to continue to try and be independent but stay broke? And for a lot of people, that's the really hard decision.
I think it's a hard decision, and this is my personal opinion, so tell me what you think. But I think there's a big gray area when you're getting offers like that from the industry, like people who are already set up. Like, and this is what I'm taking from what you're saying. The sell your soul part is like someone's literally going to give you everything. Like but they're going to take everything.
Yeah.
And there's a gray area with it where, like, being an independent artist nowadays, you're starting to understand more things like royalties, the streams, the brand name revenue, and, like, the traveling revenue, how to have, like, different managers. Like, that knowledge is starting to become more accessible.
Yeah, exactly, where it used to be hidden information.
But doesn't it also put in their face, like, all right, but there's also certain resources I do not have access to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the labels have all those things, which is why they get to hold this over you.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the scary part with labels is when you look at a contract and they send it to you, you're going to see that it says whatever amount of time they're asking for,
right,
for an amount of releases they're asking for,
right,
it's going to say in there, we have the right to exploit this content as much as we want. So that means they can do whatever they want with your content. So that's what I mean by the selling your soul, is you're allowing a corporation to exploit you. And it's literally in the contract. It says
they can do anything with your content.
Anything they want.
Anything.
And, like, for the most part, like, that's kind of a good thing. In some instances, that means they can put you in commercials.
Mm-hmm.
They could put you in video games. They could do whatever they want. But that's the thing. They could do whatever they want. And a lot of those times, like, they have clauses in there. They could put your music, like, let's say you put out an album.
Right.
One track is a hit. They're going to go put it on I'm going to use a random one, Def Jam compilation tape.
Yeah.
So now there's your one song, and then they take one song from 10 other artists that had good tracks in their albums, and now they made a Def Jam compilation tape out of your music.
And you can't say, like, hey, yo, I don't want to be on that.
No, you agreed to it when you signed that. And a lot of these deals are for long periods of time, like 5-10 years.
Imagine a contract, right? You do, like, a temporary deal, like the 1 year, 2 year deal. Because I feel like when
and
these
those
people,
are good.
Yeah, like with these labels, they have to understand with the knowledge that's coming to these artists. Those deals are not like, damn. But at the same time, I could see people struggling. Like, all right, I'll do the 5-10.
Yeah.
But even if I feel like we're going towards a direction where the next generation of artists will not allow themselves to fall into that. Like, basically, it's a mousetrap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like labels are going to adapt because they're not going to disappear because everything changes. That's not happening.
Yeah, no.
That's not
the
happening.
labels will never disappear.
But
They'll just evolve.
I think they'll adapt into a positive direction where there's just more room for conversation between label and artist. Because I've been thinking personally about even the artists I manage. If a label came up to me and really put an offer on the table and it said 1 to 2 years, like, what am I looking for before I say, like, this is a scam? You know?
Yeah.
What am I going to have to see on that piece of paper so I can tell them, hey, this is not on here or this is on here and I don't want it on here? If we can get that changed, then me and you can talk to my artist.
Yeah, and one thing, so off you saying that, I'll give you 1 point off the jump that you should watch out for, and that's matching right. Do you know what that is?
I don't.
Matching right is so let's say Sprout signs to Rockefeller tomorrow.
Right.
He's on Rock, but 2 years from now, he wants to get off Rockefeller.
Right.
But in his agreement, they had the ability of matching right. What matching right is let's say Universal comes and wants to pick up Sprout, then Rockefeller has the opportunity to create, depending on what they have in the contract, but it's normally like 30 days.
Yeah.
They can hold up your ability to sign that deal for 30 days, and they can match your offer that Universal offered you, so to keep you. So let's say you really wanted to go to Universal, but Rockefeller's like, nah, I think we're going to keep you here. They just give you the same amount of money to keep you. And then if Universal decides not to up the offer, then you're stuck. And then even still, as soon as that happens, there's a 30-day period where Rockefeller has a chance to match.
Yeah.
And every time they match it, another 30 days continues. So you could be a year down the line of just 2 labels in a bidding war, and you can't release music during that time.
That's insane to think, because it sounds like a good time. You know, these people really want me, like they really want me, but to be in a position where you're actually not in control of what's going on.
Exactly. And even if you want to, if
Matching
everything goes completely to shit,
Yeah.
you want to know that you could leave
Yeah.
and go somewhere else. But when they have that matching right, they have the ability to keep you. And if you end up with a petty executive that just wants to sideline your career, then they could literally just shelf you forever by continuing. If they want to just give up the money because they're feeling petty and they want to just not allow you to be what you want to be, they can. You got to hope that that doesn't happen, but like they could if they wanted to.
Yeah, I can't imagine being in that position and the people you don't want to win.
Oh God,
Like,
yeah.
Some of these
That's what makes
artists
them lose their
come out of
mind.
nowhere and be like, "Fuck my label." And there's some artists recently I've seen them say like, "Fuck my label." I'm like, "Yo, you've been kind of big for like 6 years. What's going on now, bro? Like, what could be?" But simple things like that, like I didn't know. Like you said,
Yeah.
matching right?
Matching right.
Yeah, simple things like that.
Matching
like,
right.
That one little, because I actually started making contracts
Mm-hmm.
a couple months ago. Like I've been strictly word of mouth.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had the strict need to have anybody that I'm working with be on contract. I started getting everyone on contract, and when I was
smart, it's the smartest thing you could do.
it makes things easier because a lot of people will say like, "Hey, what are you doing for me?"
Mm-hmm. Here it is.
Yeah. I'm making these contracts, and there's certain things in them that because I had called up people that manage other artists. I said, "Can I see what you got going on?" And "Can I see what you got going on?" I've seen people with 3-page, 4-page contracts. I've seen people with 1-page contracts, and it could be the simplest line that can change like everything about the contract.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just now like getting into it myself, so knowing that too with the labels and the artists is crazy. It really does take one line in your contract, and you could be SOL.
Oh yeah.
You could be SOL. It doesn't matter what anything else says.
Yeah, and even still, like, the other thing as a manager, the biggest fear is the labels will instantly be trying to cut you out and throw in their people. And there's many tricks of how they do this. They give you a representative from the label that kicks it with the artist and you, and then they start to feed that artist, like, I don't think you really need them.
Just
That's the
imagining a
industry.
person like
That's
that.
the industry. It's the snakes. It's exactly what happens all the time. This happens every day in the industry. And it's just one of those things, like, it's hard, especially as the artist, to see through it. Because, like, you signed a deal. You want the people at the label to love you. You want to get close to these people because they're in control of everything. But you just got to watch because there's just so many tricks in the book. And then a lot of labels are management companies, too. Like 1017.
Yeah.
That's a
Gucci
management
one.
company.
Yeah.
Management company. And so like when you sign to Alamo, they were partnered with Alamo Records. So a lot of artists that signed to Alamo also signed to 1017 management.
Right.
And then with that, now you're in complete control
Music
of the whole system.
and management.
Yeah.
It's just so it's the same place. They're two different names, but same place.
Yeah. And now that's two different ways of income they're collecting off of you. Not only are they collecting your royalties and whatever percentage they're taking from your royalties, but they're also now taking 15 to 25% as a manager fee. Yeah.
That's at that point you're going
just getting
50-50 with
completely
everything,
screwed.
and then you go down on your 50, another 50% on your 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
It's a nightmare.
it makes me just want to. I wish artists could be more open about their deals. You know what I'm saying? But I can also see like why that's not like really sensible to do, just to put your contract out. You know,
You're not allowed.
well, you know who did?
Who?
Kanye.
Oh my God.
And
man.
that was an insane day on Twitter.
Oh my God. Yeah, Kanye's in one of like the worst publishing deals ever. He signed that deal before Through the Wire. He's been in this publishing deal before he even popped. So they gave him nothing, and they've been making him guarantee this amount of money for this long. Like, and he has an actual obligation of albums he has to deliver. He can't stop making music. Like, they basically say you have to deliver the same way you were delivering from the beginning. Forever. And then when he doesn't, so like when he takes these breaks and albums don't come out, like they're on his ass. And he's in this constant lawsuit with them, trying to get out of this, but that's the scary thing. And big thing I'll say to artists is don't sign your pub away early or ever. Hold on to that till the end. Like, there's a wildly different artist, but like someone like Bob Dylan, Anybody see the deal he did? He sold his entire catalog as publishing for like, it was like $400 or $500 million. He's near the end of his life. He held his publishing this whole time.
Yeah.
Boom.
Quick.
You're
Family's
able to do
good
that forever.
For forever after that point.
Forever.
And you honestly stayed 10 toes on your music until.
Yeah. Until the end. A lot of his super fans are like, oh, he's a sellout and all this shit. But like, yeah. That's just the fans being unhappy with everything.
Yeah. I feel like supporters and fans sometimes feel like they have like more control over somebody than they really do. You know what I'm saying? It's like when a lot of people say bring out that old artist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just go listen to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why do you want the same person?
Exactly. You just want artists to do the exact same thing forever? You would get very bored very quick.
I want to dive into your because you started with you're a manager and an independent label. That's how you wanted to start, right? That's
Sure.
what got you into everything. And it's crazy because honestly, same here. Literally same here. When my homie built his studio, I was like, I knew I couldn't make music. I knew I couldn't rap.
But I tried to be a producer at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was ass.
Hey, it's all right. We're in this together. When I decided to be try to make a label and be a manager, it was definitely the out of the box like decision amongst the group since everyone wanted to be basically like the star position. So for you, what was it like making that decision? Like, what was it like wanting to be the business guy instead of the music making guy per se?
Honestly, for me, it was like I was just around a lot of really dope people. Like I was around Tawobi, I Hate You, Sheed, Moses.
I got their poster in my room still.
That's fire. The Miyazaki John.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was around all of them in 2012.
Okay.
That's when we started HBC. So like I was just sitting there. I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like all of their music is amazing, and I'm around all this talent. And for me, it was just a way of finding a way to support it and fit in to being able to help the overall mission.
Right.
And at first, like one thing I forgot to say was I was a videographer.
Okay.
I
started to you now, just so people know who I'm live with.
What's up, IG? When I started, I was a videographer, and like I started making skate videos with my friends when I was like 12, and that pretty much led to me like understanding a camera. And so since the beginning, I've always pretty much just been the guy that's documenting everything,
right,
and then trying to just take it to the next level. And like for me, it was just I see my friends have all this talent, so what can I do to push it to another level? That was really it.
That was the question. That was like the question in your head that pushed you into that direction.
Yeah, and then I knew that nobody else liked to do that. Nobody liked to talk to people, to have to do all that comes with being a manager, all the annoying conversations, all the conflict, all the like random bullshit that you have to encounter is what the artist doesn't want to deal with. That's your job.
Yeah.
So like
firsthand, I know.
Yeah, it's fun.
ever handle an artist's argument for them?
Oh my god, yeah. Absolutely.
Tell them that I don't like them. I don't want to work with them.
Oh my god.
Bro, why? Are you sure? That's what you want me to say. And then you gotta like reword it professionally. Like my artist feels as though working with you is not.
Well, I've had my artists go public.
That's when it's just like, all right, throw everything out the window.
And then you're just on cleanup crew.
Yeah.
You're just trying to, all right, let's see, what can we salvage out of this?
I went through my first public thing back in December. I'm not even trying to get into it, but I went through my first like public, like, this is straight up going to be me fixing everything in like 2 days. Like, but for now, I have no control.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be like that.
When you start seeing the timeline getting into it, you're like, oh, damn it, how did it get here? One of my biggest things is like that I'm always trying to stress, and like with our team and even just people I know, is like just do your best to keep the personal shit off the internet. Like anything that's like real life or like that's not like the WWE shit that is the music industry and like the theatrics. But when it's some real shit, like I try to advise, and I also try my best to keep everything off the internet. Because like for one, it's not always the best look, like being in the middle of beef or shit like that. Like if you were a fan, like either you're gonna get super involved and like hop on a side, or you're gonna be like, oh, I didn't know they were doing all this bullshit.
Yeah.
So like I try to always uphold the integrity and like not make things look like a shit show.
I respect that. A lot of people do have to differentiate like the work aspect from the personal aspect, and then they also have to make sure other people can differentiate that too. Like, yeah, you can be supporting this and talking about this, and this is what I want you to know about. But once you start talking about this,
Yeah.
or seeing this, just know that this is like me. Like, this isn't something I want public. This is my actual like day to day.
Exactly.
So I respect you for being able to like tell people to differentiate that. Some people I work with right now, like, all right, I don't see why I can't tell people like I'm doing this out there, and I'm working on it myself right now.
Yeah.
Not myself, but like with people.
Yeah.
And another thing that you said that was a fact is like not a lot of people really choose the position as a manager, and I've only met I think 5. You would be my 5th. 5 like solid people I would say are actual managers.
Yeah.
On our on our like not grassroots. I'm not trying to say like you're, you know what I'm saying,
Of course.
that's your
No,
position,
I
but
understand
you know what I
exactly
mean.
what
From
you're
where we
saying.
came from, like we had to learn everything
Exactly.
firsthand, or
That's a
from
perfect
somebody.
point. I knew nothing of management when I started doing this at 17. There's no experience. I have no industry connections. Like, even still, like, I'm at a point where, like, I've met people along the way, but, like, there's 2 different kinds of managers. There's people that are like us, that are, like, one-on-one, very hands-on, more or less, like, day-to-day managers with an artist. And then there's an industry manager, like someone like a Coach K. Like, someone that is plugged in with everything. So a lot of artists will have 2 managers. Like, you'll have your day-to-day, and then you'll have your Coach K. And, like, that Coach K is the person that's stepping in and, like, setting up collaborations with their people in their Rolodex of people they know, setting up brand partnerships, all of this types of stuff. And you see that with, like, most of the artists on QC. Like, with Yachty being on with Target and, like, all these different big things.
Yo, big respect to Yachty.
Yo,
I think he did the Travis Scott run before Travis did, because he was with Nautica. Then he did a cereal.
Yeah, I feel like Yachty had the perfectly clean-cut image, and then over the last few years, he's, like, broken out of it. Because he was, like, bubblegum pop rap almost at the beginning.
But I think he wanted to push that image out. Like, he genuinely wanted to be that, like, carefree. I mean, his thing's what? He had, like, a album called Teenage.
Yeah, that John was dope. I like that John.
Was it Teenage
Emotions.
Teenage Emotions.
I like that John.
And it kind of, like...
Shout out Yachty.
Yeah, shout out Yachty, because I think that solidified what he was trying to do with that image for the people who were watching. I mean, that's like Yachty's like 2015, 2016 type time when he was like coming up. So we were, the generation I was fucking with heavy was Young Bulls.
Yeah.
So I liked what he did. But he definitely is breaking out now, which I think, again, is still for us. Because, like, he's breaking out that image and also has been collaborating with a lot of, like, underground artists as of late.
He's the biggest one. Like, he works with everybody that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you really notice that he uses his platform to put on for other artists, which is big. A lot of artists don't have that mentality. It's just like I'm going to be the biggest thing ever, and maybe I'll grace you with my presence.
And that's a huge thing. People don't understand the importance of just like it's not like you're really giving away your spotlight, but like sharing it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yep.
You made it to that point. You have your own fan base. You have people who support you genuinely. And you definitely have to support someone else besides yourself. Yeah. I know every big artist listens to probably someone with less than like 1,000 followers on anything.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I know big artists do that.
Absolutely.
You can share your spotlight for 2 seconds.
Bro, facts. And then you might help build up another base that, like, maybe, I know it's hard to see this as a big artist, but one day maybe your shine drops a little bit. And then you helped bring this artist up, and you can use them to help bring you back up. It's a constant cycle.
And it's not even like worded wise, like a thing to use people, but it's more so showing them that how to use their light when they have it too.
Exactly.
Because that's probably the main reason when a lot of people that I learned about in the past couple of years when it came to the music industry out here in the East, a lot of people really do like get big and leave.
Oh yeah, that's the entire mentality, especially with Philly.
I think that comes from the not wanting to share the spotlight. Like personally for you, being like a manager in Philly, let's start with the talent. Like, when you look for other artists to work with or collab with or try to, share your spotlight with, what do you look for personally?
I just look for like heart. For real, like if I can see that someone is dedicated, like I really don't care about their numbers. or anything like that. Also, as someone in marketing, like I understand how those numbers can be manipulated and pushed. So like I'm really always just looking at raw talent. So like if I'm in a room with somebody and like I'm like, wow, they're insane. Like even if they're just like freestyling, like you could really tell. Like Eli, I'd heard Eli rap. I'd heard his like older music, but I wasn't as familiar. But then I was in studio sessions with him, and I saw the energy, and I'm like, holy shit! Like this is something totally wild.
Right.
And it's for me, it's just always organic, and like, and then so like, that's on a personal level, and then if I had to look at certain things, I will pay attention to like, all right, are you streaming well? Are you doing well on YouTube? Social media, I don't really care about because like you could be verified and have 40K followers and have no engagement. So like it really doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I try and always pay attention to who has like an in-person real following. Because those are the people that are going to rise. Like the numbers only do so much.
I think a lot of artists that are starting up like right now in this COVID era are not. We're not saying they're not understanding the importance, but I really hope when things start opening up, they see that importance. Because even beforehand, a lot of underground artists didn't realize how important it is to have your hometown fan base. Like, be able to bring 5 people out to something that you have your name on. 5 people at least.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to hear it from like the people like Russ and Logic. But that when they start talking about hard ticket sales as being the reasons why they're able to do these huge things they do, if you don't like their music at all, whatever, but because they have a real fan base that pays for tickets, they can do whatever they want. You can go tour wherever you want. You can set up any type of concert performance. You could go do SNL. You could go do these crazy things because you have a real life fan base that's demanding it. Yeah, more or less.
That's way more important than the numbers.
Yeah.
That's way, way, way more important than the numbers.
The numbers truly only matter if you're trying to get a deal. So if you want to appeal to the people, the executives and those labels, then you boost your numbers because that's all they're looking at. They're looking at numbers. They want to see your 10K followers on IG at least. They want to see that you're streaming well. They want to see your YouTube videos are doing well. All of those different things. These are factors that the labels are paying attention to. And nowadays with labels, they don't even do A&R to discover the talent. A lot of the labels are distribution companies now. So what that means is you can have an artist on your distribution platform, but they're not signed to your label. And then you just pay attention to all those artists that distribute through you. And whoever's rising up in the statistics you got in your spreadsheet, you go and give them a record deal. And that's how most of these major labels are working now, is they're setting up a distribution company to go with it.
It's crazy to think about the A&R aspect dying out.
Oh, my God.
Like how they're just not looking, like they're actually not living with these, like having people live and experience these artists firsthand. Because when I first went into it, I always expected that, like, almost like a sports coach at a high school game standing there, like a college coach going to a high school game and scouting. I always imagined it like that, not going to lie.
And like, it used to be. It used to be, like, an A&R would go to a concert, like a low, like, there's 30 people performing or even open mics, and you would go and you'd pay attention. But in the digital age, you don't need to do that anymore. You just go on YouTube.
I feel robbed.
And then, or you look at like Lyrical Lemonade and scroll down. Oh, who got a write up today? Let's go try and sign them. Like these are the things that are happening on a regular basis. We got on Pigeons and Planes like maybe 3. I think it was 2018. Sheed's record Vogue got on there, and then maybe 2-3 weeks later we had a meeting at RCA, and it was because of that. Nothing happened. But that is what they were looking for. We were doing all these other things, and then just that one write-up was what brought us up to that building.
I guess it's a bittersweet thing because it definitely offers a lot of opportunity for people who, again, have no resources to reach those people, like can't get to the concerts yet, can't get out.
Yeah.
At least I have my phone. I can put up a video, get my song out now. At least I can like shoot a whole video on my phone if I need to.
Yeah.
And then get a couple bucks and pay for promo. And
Yeah.
then fingers cross it.
The craziest thing I saw was, were you on Clubhouse
My
when it was
God.
all
Like
starting
initial
off?
Clubhouse? Yes, I was
Yeah.
on it.
So
Yeah.
the wildest shit I was seeing on there was all those A&R rooms where they were like, yeah, just play your music off your phone speaker and we're gonna judge it.
Wild.
And like,
Even more wild is that people sent money.
what's even wilder is that
Wow, I
people
didn't do
got
that.
signed.
Wow.
People did get signed off
Yes,
of Clubhouse?
yes. I was in a room where they signed 4 people. And I was like, bro, I don't even want this. Like, I didn't play a single song. And I was like, bro, I wouldn't even want them to pick it up because we put so much money into like the mixing, mastering, and the quality of our music that like, if you're judging our music off of how it's being played through speakerphone, more or less,
Yeah.
I don't want you touching our music ever because you
Yeah.
clearly don't care.
What are they even listening for at that point?
If it could go viral.
True.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. They just want to see that your music could go viral or your image could go viral.
I think that's where that TikTok push is coming from too. I'm glad you stated that. You said it like that because I do wonder what labels look for nowadays. I know it's
Mhm.
numbers, but then what happens after that? Oh, obviously, if they have someone has a brand they can push. You know what I mean? Someone that they could take the name and then throw it at everybody, and a lot of
Yeah.
people pick up. And now TikTok, probably a very organic place to get engagement nowadays. Everyone's on TikTok
For the most part,
on
yeah.
like all age ranges too, because like even now, like I don't really want to see like I don't think anyone between 1 to 13 really cares about Instagram,
Nah.
but they're definitely on TikTok now.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
don't
I'm
even
saying,
think they're
watching?
allowed to be on Instagram. Like,
Yeah, to be
I know
honest,
at least like my parents, like they won't allow my little siblings that are like in that age range on social medias.
like back in the day, I guess like Vine was definitely the kids app. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
young bulls would be on it. Instagram really wasn't anything at that time. To be honest, it was just post
Yeah.
and go.
Yeah.
So like TikTok now being able to go viral and engage with that many people, I feel like everyone's saying get on TikTok.
Mhm.
Everyone's saying get that TikTok song. Everyone's saying why? Oh, because you can go viral. But what happens after you go viral? Are you expecting a deal? Because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. And
When
for a lot
everyone
of people,
pushes
they
it.
are.
Because a lot of these TikTok videos and songs that pop off do not really turn into real fans and supporters. There was this one girl that went viral for her song, and Tyga remixed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I found her profile on Instagram, and she's not buzzing. Her
Yeah.
next song is like not doing streams.
Yeah.
It's significantly lower. It's probably lower than a lot of the artists that are actually been out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like,
And that's one of those things, like, it's a weird one because, like, there are artists that one TikTok video could make your career. And now you're like, but yet again, it's one of those situations where it's kind of like if you're looking for a deal. If that's what you're looking for, then those things could be very helpful. So, like, if you can run up a TikTok just to get your foot in the door somewhere, so now you're validated by a label or whatever it is, then that is good. But if you're just trying to sustain, then like one viral video isn't what you want. You want to build up that fan base that's going to continue to interact with everything. And like then it's the same message for everything, whether it's doing shows and building up in real life or whether it's building an audience on these websites.
Because you can absolutely turn your online presence into a real fan base.
For
Absolutely.
sure. For sure.
It's just depending on how you're presenting that, whatever you're putting on their screen.
For sure.
Like that TikTok stuff to me, I mean, like I'm not trying to bash anybody for wanting to like go viral on it or pushing it the way they're pushing it now, but it's just like it just doesn't seem like a long-term thing. It seems like one step in probably a campaign I would make. It would be like one small thing amongst other bigger things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't want to make that your main priority. You just want it to be a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And like, I know my artists are annoyed with me because I've certainly been one of the ones like you guys need to be making TikToks of this shit. Like I'll see like someone do like a funny interaction and I'm like, you could just film a TikTok of this and it would probably go viral.
Yeah.
And like, but I understand the annoyance of it. It's a whole nother platform and like a lot of artists had already grown annoyed, but aware that like, okay, when I do a release, I gotta post on Twitter, I gotta post on Instagram, YouTube, maybe Facebook if that's your shit. Not many people are there anymore, but now there's TikTok.
Facebook.
Yeah. And now there's TikTok, and it's just another platform, and like it's one of those things where the content on TikTok that works the best is content that is like made for TikTok. So like you could upload a clip of your music video to TikTok, but I guarantee you it's not going to do well. Just from experience. Like even formatted like correctly to the vertical format, it still won't do well.
I was thinking about that too.
But if I took my phone and started filming right now on the TikTok platform and just like said something stupid, that would probably go way crazier.
I've seen a lot of people like go viral on TikTok too, which is like it's so insane how fast it could happen.
It usually is within a day or two.
Yeah, cause I went to London. I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, I went to London 2 years ago.
I've always wanted to go there.
Highly recommend, bro. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
Shout out Macy. She knows who she is.
Shouts out Macy.
Yeah, shout out Zuko. That's mine.
Shouts out Zuko too.
Yeah, he's an artist out there. He's buzzing. I'm bringing him to the States.
That's fire.
We're gonna go crazy. But when I went to London, she made a TikTok saying my music friend from the U.S. is coming, and then like showed like me coming out the airport, and then me going to London and walking around with all the people, and then like just some basic thing. And not even 6 hours later, oh my God, I have like 500,000 views on this. 6 hours later.
That's how it goes, man.
And I get on the plane. I'm going home. I get off the plane. And she hits me up. Yeah, I'm at like 1.2 million views. I just went up like 45 to 50,000 followers. And this is 2 years ago. TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like now, so this is before everyone was like, TikTok, get on TikTok. Push me. And I was like, wow, like you're about to be famous.
Yeah.
It's so fast. How like it was so fast how big she got. It was also so fast how like the numbers depleted too. That's the other thing. Like I seen people in the first string of it start going viral, and then just see how like, all right, if you're not like a consistent creator, or if that wasn't one step of a longer process, it's just anything. But I do feel as though TikTok is important.
Yeah. Well, right now it
As
just
a
has the
step.
best algorithm.
Yeah.
So of any platform, you could go viral the easiest on there.
Yeah.
Which is like that's a big benefit to know as a creative and as an independent artist. And like I've seen people do it, and I've done my research too into even like paying people on TikTok to like start challenges for you,
Make
and shit
dances?
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in most of my research and like other people doing that, it's not successful. Like you're way better off just trying to do it organically. Like find like your friend, or like you have younger siblings, get like a younger sibling to make a dance, as opposed to trying to pay some TikTok influencer. And most people, like labels, are paying these people. Like these people are getting cashed out every day to do these dances. But unless it just clicks right, it's gonna be a waste of money.
Yeah.
And I've watched a few YouTubers that like spent like $1,000 or $2,000 only on like TikTok promotion, and it just like by the end of it they had like less than 100 videos for the song, and like a lot of them were from people with like hundreds of thousands of followers on there, and then
But their followers weren't doing it.
yeah, and then that paid content, like their video would be like the least viewed video on that person's channel. Like I don't know. It's all a scam. Like you run your numbers up so you can start. If you have 1 million TikTok followers, you could even just leverage that with a label and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make you a dance. It's gonna cost $500 right now or whatever." And next thing you know, oh wow, we paid that guy and nothing happened. But we also paid 50 other people and
Lost
nothing
all that.
happened.
But we have like 9 different dances.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess.
It's the gamble. It's always the gamble.
Okay, ready? So HBC. So would you say like you're the guy who makes the I say the investment decisions? Like you're like, or the ideas, like you put the investment ideas on the table, right?
A good amount of them, yeah. Like for the most part, everything is between me, Moses Mosima, I Hate You Sheet, and Tawobi.
Okay.
We own HBC, the 4 of us.
Okay.
So like everything's a collective decision. But I bring a lot of ideas to the table, yes.
So can you like describe to me your idea process? What makes you think like, all right, guys, we should do this? Hey guys, let's try this today, or let's go. You know what I mean? Because I find myself doing that a lot with my artists. Like, hey guys, let's go try this. Let's go here. Let's go see what happens if we go do this here. So for you, when you're making those decisions, what's like the process with it, and like the conversation as well when you're talking to them? Does every idea get accepted, or is it a lot of like?
For sure not.
Okay, run me through it. Run me through it.
Honestly, like I just bring the idea up, and then if one thing I'll do, if the idea is a risky idea, like this might not work or something, a lot of the times, like whether it's, okay, let's say it's a financial investment, like let's invest in this marketing or let's try this out or whatever.
Right.
If I can, I'll just pay for it myself. And that's if it's a risk. So like, or I'll split it with the artist. So like, let's say it's a decision with one artist for marketing for them.
Right.
If it's something like that isn't tried and true and that we know works, I'll be like, look, I know this is a risk. I'll go half with you on it. So if we lose, we both lost. It's really about just like trying to put yourself in their position too. Is like someone bringing you an idea, this could potentially lose me money or time. Why am I going to do it just off your word? And like,
that's a description for a lot of ideas on the table over here too. Like a lot of the ideas come with that risk factor.
And so for my biggest advice is just take the risk with them. And like, if somebody sees you're willing to go out and put yourself out there financially and put yourself on the line, like I'd be more willing.
Yeah.
If you came to me with an idea right now and was like, yeah, you just got to put up $500 for it at the end, I'd be like, I don't know. But if you were like, look, it's 500, but we could split it together. I'll put up 250, you put up 250, and if it works, we both win. If it loses, we both lost. But it was less money.
Yeah.
So like, it's a tricky one. But like, honestly, I just try and bring up every idea I possibly can, and then a good amount of that is getting another person's perspective, like having the rest of the group either tell you ideas why they think you shouldn't, or why this is a good idea. And you can get a level of excitement off of just kind of like judging how everybody reacts too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, amidst the conversation, I just keep making my own personal connections because I don't really get to talk to managers like
Of
that.
course.
You know what I mean? I don't get to talk to people who are doing these things that I feel like.
Of
I mean, I
course.
want to say like, I feel like I'm alone in it. I know there's other people out there, but it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, you don't really sit down manager, like a table full of managers and just talk about like, hey, so I just did this with my group. You know what I'm saying? Like, what were you up to? I want to like hopefully create a table like that one day.
Yeah, the managers round table.
That'd
be hard.
I just found this promo drawn, worked great. Now I'm talking to Bull. We're actually going out there. Yo, you should have your guys come out. Like, that's a big thing that I feel as though my team is working towards. It's just like being able to collab and connect with more people.
Yeah.
Like, in a sense that it's not always business, but it's like, hey, like, I have information. I thought, you could benefit from this.
Exactly.
Oh, I just actually had some success here, and I think you could have success here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I think I realized this last night. Philly it's got a lot of that type of love.
Yeah.
Has a lot of that type of love.
Now it's getting better.
I shouldn't say a lot. Like, yeah, like it's dominant. It's definitely not the dominant thing yet, but in the underground scene right now,
yeah,
I've seen a lot of genuine love and support between the creatives amongst it.
Yeah.
The fashion people, the artists people, the producers, the videographers, they're all talking to each other, you know what I mean? And the list goes on, but you know what I mean? And they're all sharing like, good information. They're like, yo, you heard about this guy. Heard about this. You want to do this.
And that's what I love about this next generation coming up in Philly is like, number one, I love the fact that like even, I shouldn't even say this, but like even in COVID restrictions, like they're going out and doing shows regardless. And like,
respect to them.
I love that because it's the undying will. Like this has to happen. It doesn't matter. Like fuck it, we're gonna risk it. We're gonna go be the test dummies.
Yeah.
And like that is what's necessary for this world to open back up.
Especially right now. I'm glad you said that. Especially right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting vaccinated. It's been a whole year of the quarantine. People are losing things here and trying to get life back to normal. Now's the time to just start deciding how you're going to live.
Yeah.
And Philly, definitely, this underground generation is definitely saying, like, we're not trying to sit inside this summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this summer's going to be wild.
And I don't mean to make COVID light in any way. But somebody has to do it. Like, we're not all just going to sit inside and do nothing forever. But that's what I love that the kids are doing, and they're working together. So like, that is my biggest thing that I wanted to see. And like, as someone like myself and being in HBC, our biggest ideas was to always bring back everything we learned and show everybody. So like, we just want everybody to be on the same like equal playing field as us, so we all have the same tools. A big part of like what I noticed in Philly, like as we were coming up and like as we were 2021 trying to get into this industry, and in Philly, and everybody was older than us, like late 20s, the sharing of information was very light. The only way people would share information was if there was something to gain from it.
Right.
So like, whether that was looking out and like telling you who books a venue, telling you like all these different things, like people would kind of gatekeep this information just because they didn't know, like they didn't want you to have the same opportunity as them.
My bad. Can you mute that?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
just-
Discord's popping. I know my Discord
Oh,
people
shit.
in here too, probably trying to talk.
What's up, Discord?
What's good, yo?
But yeah, basically, everybody had all this information, but unless you like knew somebody personally, and also that person was willing to share information with you, then everybody was just stuck with nothing, and nobody knew what was going on, and everybody was just kind of grasping to like try and reach out of like what Philly felt like for these we've been really prominent here since like 2016 is where I would say we really like tried to stamp our position here in the city, was since then. And in all of that, like I felt so much resistance. Like I would be asking all these questions like you're asking now, and I would get like the answer would be like a workaround, like not specifically like, yo, who runs that venue? You should come to the event and maybe I'll introduce you. It's like, yeah, but yeah, I just found a lot of like resistance to help. And like, I've always been one that is not ashamed to ask for help. And a lot of times I've reached out and asked, I just got no answer, or the answer didn't help in any way. And that a big part of what they say about Philly is the crabs in a barrel mentality. And that's that there's so little opportunity here that everybody else will push each other down in the barrel to get to the top. And that's the problem, because if we all were together, which is, as I'm saying, this is what I love to see from the younger generation now, is if everybody's together, then you can build up an actual industry and create Philly into an industry city. We're not an industry city, and we're a talent city, but we have no industry. There's not a single record label here, like major record label.
You're right.
There's no media companies.
You're right.
There's nothing. All we have is where we're sitting right now, is Rec Philly. Like, that's the only facility there is, and like place that provides any of these services.
So you started in 2012, you said?
It started in 2012.
And then 2016 is when you said was like a pivotal moment where you felt like that pressure, that resistance was like coming off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was like our entry. Like when we were brand new, nobody knew who we were. Like we started in 2012, but we were in high school, and then we all went to school and shit, and then we all dropped out and came back and regrouped, and that was 2016.
Yeah.
Or no, that might have been 2015, but like where we actually got introduced to the scene more was 2016. But yeah, like I don't know, man. It just, you kind of felt like you would try and talk to people, and then you would get that reaction, like they'd kind of look at you like, why are you even asking me this, or why are you even talking to me? Who the fuck are you? And then like a few years later, like, you're good friends. And
hey man, I'm sorry about earlier. Sorry about how I talked to you, man.
I get it. Like, and for me, a lot of it wasn't how people talked to me. It was just the lack of what they were willing to say.
Yeah.
Like when I'm asking for help and just receiving nothing, or I'm asking to be put on show, have my artist put on shows, and I just keep getting bullshitted and bullshitted. That was why we did our own show. This was it was either 2017 or 18. We did HBC Presents Astro 8000. And we did it because we couldn't get booked. So it was like, fuck it. let's put the money together ourselves
Do our own
and book a
shit.
venue.
Tough.
And so we did that, and then that was where everything changed. I think that was when people looked at us and were like, oh, okay, they're not waiting on us.
So
They'll do whatever they want.
Yeah, like,
It doesn't matter if we try and shut them out, they're just going to go do it themselves regardless.
yeah. And that's what kind of like got you respecting the game.
Yeah.
Was that really like?
I think it was just
Awesome.
being able to prove that you could do it all yourself.
Mm.
And for a lot of people, like the people bigger up in the city and in the industry, that's what they're looking for. Number one, they're looking to see that you can perform without their help. And then also they're looking to see longevity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say a big part of like why we get a lot of support is because we've been here since 2016 and we've been consistent the entire time and only continued to move up. So in doing that, everybody's able to see like, we might not even like their music, but they're not going anywhere. And for me, I think that was a big turning point. And it was like, oh, they're just going to continue to be here. Might as well all work together.
Yeah. Yeah. And they clearly are working for the next part, like the next level, just like us.
Exactly.
And I'll admit, it was definitely a time I felt as though I couldn't share everything that I was doing. Even the people who were like, yo, I'm trying to like do what you do. Like, how do you do it? Like, I do feel as though there was a point. I think my mentality at the time was that some of these resources that I had attained and like how I had to attain them made them what they were. Like, made them mine. You know?
Because it was difficult. It wasn't easy.
And it wasn't a simple conversation between me, someone who had it, here, you have it now, and you can do it. It was like, I learned everything about it, then learned where I can go get it, then I got it, then I tested it, then I made it work. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people definitely had that process themselves. I could see where that, because I had the mentality myself, so I don't want to speak on everybody. But
I for sure did too in the beginning. Like, it was like, oh, fuck, we're figuring out how to do this. Like, are we going to tell everybody?
Yeah.
And at first it was no. And then later on down the line, I was like, no, everybody needs to know this. Just because it took me 2 years to find this out, there's no reason why it should prevent someone else from learning this in 10 seconds.
Right.
And that's a big part of what I'm trying to bring back is like, I feel, it's been 5-6 years of us really going hard at it. And I feel like with all the information we've learned, I could save somebody 4 of those years to do the same amount of work in 2.
Yeah.
Just off of having that information.
And that's way more beneficial to the game than anything.
Exactly.
Than anything.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter how far your own personal career goes. If you're not really giving back to the game.
Exactly. It's not evolving. And it's not getting bigger.
It'll be a mouse wheel, if anything.
Exactly.
Repeating the same thing. The big thing about like the collective scene, like everybody working together, that I feel as though is different between. I'm from Jersey, so like I see a very, very, very different music scene. We don't have a city in Jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The biggest thing I've seen about the collective scene here in Philly and how it interconnects is it really does open the door for people who just want to dabble into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean like, oh, I'm going to try and take this career to the next level, but they're opening their minds to the fact that like, yo, I could wear some cool outfits and just go out and take pictures. I can go to like these studios. I can go to Rec Philly and just, you know, give my membership, go to the studio, make a track for fun with my music friends. Like,
exactly.
A lot of people in Jersey have this mentality that they shouldn't be like doing that.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't just be doing this for fun. Like, oh, you can't just be like coming up to my studio and then just making a song and then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's breaking. It's definitely breaking. There's a lot of communication amongst Jersey, but Philly really showed what's going to happen if you just completely break that off. Like, tell people they can be creative.
Yeah.
Like, say, like, yo, like this is not, you're not excluded. You know what I'm saying?
That if that was my only message, it would really just be do whatever you want, no matter what it is. Any idea that comes to your mind, if that's what you want to put your mind to, do it. No matter what. Anytime somebody gives me an idea and like they're like bringing me an idea, like, yo, what do you think of this? They say it, and all I say is do it. That's it. Do it.
There's never a time you're like, well, you know.
Unless it's an awful idea.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's like you're a manager. You know, like, you'll have people bring you ideas all the time.
All the time.
And more or less expecting you to execute these ideas to an extent. So
Yeah.
At least in my experience, a lot of people will bring me ideas and, like, expect me to push it into motion.
Yeah.
I'd rather see you do it and then I'll jump in once I see that you've taken the initiative.
I was just having this conversation with, I'm not gonna say specifically who, someone I manage, because drop music, right, and then went MIA. Didn't text me, didn't call me, didn't check in on anything that was supposed to be done. It went MIA, and like it hurt. I mean, I can do it. Don't get me wrong. I could do every little aspect to a campaign for an artist if I really need to.
You should never be doing more than the artist.
And I had that conversation for the first time this year, and it broke my heart having that conversation. But
it's not easy.
I'm here to see fires. I'm here to see a fire that's already started. I could start the fire, but I would love to see a fire that's already started. I'm about to add more to the flame.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm about to make this burn brighter. Like, that's the aspect that I love about what I do, because I know what I can offer to somebody and to an artist. But like, I'm just not trying to give it to anybody. I'm trying to add on. I'm trying to be an addition to somebody's career.
Yeah.
A big addition. I do like give myself credit where it's due, but like I want to be added on to what is going on.
Yeah, and that I don't remember who I heard this from. It was probably a podcast or something, but they were talking about being a manager and what's expected. And the most basic part of it all is a manager is supposed to manage your career. A manager isn't supposed to create your career. The manager manages the career. That's it.
That's it.
It manages what you already have going on. And obviously you want to be trying to do more.
Absolutely.
To like help push it. But like,
absolutely.
What's expected of a manager is to manage what is created by your client.
It's a fact. I was being quiet on purpose. So any artist or creative that's listening, wondering what your manager should be doing, they should be managing your career.
Exactly.
Your career.
Exactly. And if you do too much, then it stops the artist from learning to do it at all themselves.
Right.
And then you end up having someone that can't be personally responsible for anything. Yeah, man.
I'm hoping everybody's taking that in. Like, it's a big thing because a lot of people do see managers as the person who does everything for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of artists I know right now that have, like, I would say it's actually 2 artists I know right now that I'd be like, yo, come on, give your manager some slack. He does a lot.
That's the other thing is like a lot of artists think they want a manager to do all the things they don't want to do. Like, I'm tired of sending out emails, or I'm tired of communicating with the producers, or I'm tired of any of the business shit. I need a manager just to do all of that. No, not at all. That's not what a manager should be doing at all, because that's going to prevent a manager from being able to progress.
I guess
do anything.
I guess it would be manager dependent too. I guess like where you're at in your career, you could get a specific type of manager, but that's like later down the line. That's someone who's starting up, and your career is being built as we speak on like the organic level. If you just want
someone to communicate for you, you need an intern or an assistant.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Yeah.
You should get someone specific in that category.
Yeah.
That should not be your manager. If your manager looks more like an assistant, yeah, it's not a manager.
Yeah.
Riley, do you have anything that's going on or coming up that you would want to like shout out right now or promote?
Sure. Yeah. All right. We're about to drop 4 albums through the duration of the summer.
4 albums in duration the summer?
Yeah. So by the end of the summer, we'll have 4 out, ideally.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 420, we're dropping Who's Smoking in the Bathroom with Tawobi and Lord Trippy. And then following that, we're going to have Moses' album, Cul-de-sac.
Okay.
Moses Mosima's album, Cul-de-sac. And then following him, I Hate You, Sheed's album.
Okay.
I'm not going to leak the title yet. He didn't put it out.
Damn, we didn't get the leak, guys. I'm sorry. We didn't get the leak.
Go harass Sheed for that. And then following that, we'll have Trippy's album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll be the duration of the summer. Just more dropping. Nonstop dropping.
Damn.
Yeah. We've had these albums for almost 2 years ready, too.
Just, like, getting them prepared in terms of, like, other aspects of the music, or was it just getting the music all set in stone?
Most of the music was done.
Yeah.
But the mixing, mastering, artwork, videos, and photo shoots and merchandise are often what take up the most amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, for me as a manager, my job really I don't do much involving the music. So like the creation process and all of that, like I don't touch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sit in on sessions and like I'll give my opinion, or like if I think this sounds good, I'll bring it up for sure. But that's not at all like my position. My job starts when the music is ready.
Yeah.
So like when an album or a record or anything's ready, we start that process, and that's taking it to get mixed, and then the artwork usually is beginning in that same time. A lot of these processes can take 6 months, if not longer, to get done, like proper mixing and then the mastering, and then depending on what you did for the artwork. And then now our new thing is trying to make a video for every song we drop. Woo. So we haven't even really like fully started like rolling that out.
Yeah.
But I've edited like 15 videos in the last.
Do you shoot them yourself too?
Some of them.
You have some. Do you have people shoot then and then you edit it? You try to do like.
Yeah, so I have a combination, because there's so many, there's a combination of both. There's videos I've shot and edited. There's videos I've just shot. There's videos I've just edited.
Yeah.
And then there's some videos that our videographer too, shouts out Bari, One Wolf's Food. he be shooting all our shit now, so he edits too. Right. So we just are trying to get as much content as possible. And in my knowledge, as I said, the biggest thing I like to do is share the information. And what I've been told by people that are looking out for us is that mentality, is make a video for everything you have. Because the visual content is really what sticks with people. Like, music always does stick, but you can catch a lot more people with a visual, especially as an undiscovered artist. Like,
I definitely think that shows a different aspect to how serious you take your career. Because music is one aspect.
Yeah.
And then once you're like, all right, well, now I want to bring it to life.
Yeah.
I also want people to be able to wear the art that I decided on.
Yeah.
Because there's art that I took time to put together.
Yep.
And then they'll just keep going. Like the list of things, that if you can just do more than one thing with your music, you're already going in the right direction. Just don't let it be you release it and then you promote it for a week and then you're done with it.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is like, as an artist, never stop talking about it. One of the best examples I like to bring up is Tyler, the Creator, with Igor. If you noticed, Tyler found a new way every day to tweet, hey, I dropped my album, check it out. Every single day he'd be like, hey, I made something. And then it would just be a link to the album. Yeah. And he did that for months.
He did variants of the cover art too, didn't he?
Yeah.
He posts different colors of the cover art. Yeah.
It's just different ways of constantly being able to talk about it. Because the shelf life of projects right now is short. Like, most people are done. If you drop a project, if you aren't like dropping videos or doing like a live performance in some way or merch or something, people aren't talking about it after a week. After a week, it's gone.
Yeah.
And like, people will some people, like your super fans, will engage still, but like the key is to continuously drop things to be able to create more of those super fans. That's the biggest thing.
I became an Eli super fan because I was watching the video, seeing people rap his stuff, and now seeing him live twice in a 2-week span, bro. And I'm gonna see him again on the 17th. We're going out to that joint, right?
What's the 17th?
The 17th is I forgot the name of the bull. I have to show you the flyer, but
that John that Graham's at.
Yeah. It's on the 17th.
I don't think Eli's performing at that.
He is. He's on the flyer. Eli 616. I swear I've seen it. We'll look at it after this, but if I see him again 3 times, yo, I'm telling you, Demigod's I'm gonna know the lyrics to like all the songs before the month's out.
That's bro.
We'd be going crazy.
He did a lot of those records in our house, so like I heard like a lot of these records.
That's actually where I met you, during an Eli session.
Yeah.
I first walked in, and I think someone said something about him not wearing shoes, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to just stay with the earth right now." Yeah. That was the first thing I heard him ever say. Like, and then I met you guys right after. That was a pretty I was like, "This is cool. This is cool as fuck. I love the energy here."
Yeah.
Got the posters.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was definitely unmatched energy in that session. Like, and I've been in a session with Eli as well, and another one after that. And there's just something about like when you have that energy to yourself, it just sticks. Like, before the music's even out, if you just sit in a session with him, I really feel like you'd be like, all right, well, now I want to know what's happening next with that guy.
Yeah, bro. Even as a person, like, if you just ran into Eli and had a conversation with him, like, he's gonna spark your interest. Like, The fuck? He's just a very unique character.
Without a
He's
doubt.
he's definitely one of the people I'm the most excited to see their progression.
The underground scene goes crazy. The
Yo,
underground scene goes crazy.
absolutely.
Shout out everybody in Philly. Shout out all
Yo,
the Philly
absolutely.
artists.
Everybody just keep doing this shit. Like, the real key here is for everybody to just keep going. And one of the things I touched on before, what we're missing is labels and media companies. So there's a pretty open opportunity right there. You got a collective, you're a manager. What that did for me was I started to realize, what's missing? Labels. HBC is an independent record label. So that's the same mentality everybody has. Like, if you guys are already a clique, like you're in a group with friends, turn that shit into a label.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
We don't have any industry here, so like think about it. There's no competition. Your only competition in starting a label in Philly is me. And I'm gonna support you.
Well, I would base my stuff in Jersey.
Yeah.
But I would come over the bridge. Be like, all right, if you're not joining me, at least let me push you over to HBC.
Yeah,
like telling you, like work with one of these guys.
But yeah, and start media companies, start blogs, start like YouTube vlog series, like do whatever you possibly can because we need more pillars in this community. And what's gonna happen with this city of Philadelphia is it's going to become a hub. Number one for tech. I don't know if anybody's heard people say this, but they've been saying this for a few years, Silicon Valley. They're trying to turn Philadelphia into the next Silicon Valley. So like if you notice Philly Tech Week, all these things like has been expanding a lot.
Yeah.
The tech industry is moving to Philly. The whole city's under
I keep
construction.
an eye on that. I didn't know about
They're
this.
turning 30th Street into big high rises, and it's going to be the connecting of West Philly to downtown. That'll all be happening in the next 10 years. All of this big stuff is happening in Philly with the advancement of technology and business. And what always follows that is the music industry. And if we don't act now and start our own labels, media companies, all these things, then the labels are going to come here. So they're already going to do this, but if we're a step ahead, we get to control the narrative.
Right.
So like,
So they're not the only option.
exactly. If none of us do anything, there will be an Atlantic office, there'll be a Universal office, and like we want those things. Like that's not a bad thing that they're coming here, but you don't want them to be the only option because then they get to control everything that's happening here.
Right.
Whereas if we have our own record labels here, then we get to stop them from doing whatever they want.
And if we're spreading the right information and not
Exactly.
letting people wait 4 years when all that stuff happens, they can go to these meetings and get the right deals, come back. You know
Exactly,
what I'm
man.
saying? All right, so we are hitting our time clock here.
Absolutely. This was great.
This was honestly one of my favorite podcasts so far.
Hell yeah.
Nothing against our podcast. But Riley, I really do appreciate like you opening up the opportunity to talk. The Rec Philly setup was like I want everyone to know like Riley set this up and gave me the opportunity to come out to Philly and work at Rec Philly. Shout out Rec Philly because this was an awesome experience. After hearing about it for so long, and then coming here and working here firsthand, just seeing the energy and the people.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate you for having me come here to do my podcast.
Oh,
with you.
of course, bro. And my bad, I couldn't get to Jersey.
No, bro. It was cool and like if people go watch episode 3, like I was slumped, I was tired. I was like, I'm just gonna talk to like the 6-7 people that were texting me. I was gonna cancel it, but then people started texting me like, "Yo, I'm on the YouTube. Like, are you going live?" I was like, "Wow, do I leave them or do I say something?"
Nah, you gotta do it.
Yeah, because the studio is only like 2 houses away from me. So I told him like, "Yo, set it up. I'm on the way," and I just jumped on the couch and started talking.
Yeah.
So it was literally no big deal because I want people to know like this could be anything. It could be
absolutely.
talking. It could be just me. It could be someone else one day.
Yeah, and that's good. That's how you don't narrow your options of like only having guests or something like that.
This has been one big experiment, but
Yo, absolutely. Don't stop. Whatever you do, don't stop.
yo, having this interview, I appreciate it a lot,
bro,
Riley.
Of course.
I'm definitely trying to get some more work in off the podcast. I'll be talking to you more.
Absolutely.
Everybody tune in with Riley of HBC.
Yeah, follow me at Riley of HBC. And,
shout out to YouTube. Shout out everything.
Highestbasement.com, youtube.com/highestbasement, at highestbasement. Find us everywhere.
The highest of basements.
Highest of basements.
All right, guys. I
Peace,
appreciate everybody
everybody.
tuning in. Send me. I didn't get to the chat. I gotta give the chat an opportunity.
Oh wait, what'd they say?
Let's see.
I'm late as shit. Oh. What's up, Jornell?
Yo,
JP.
Another goat.
Yo, JP. You're gonna have to go back and rewind this, John, to see your shout out, bro, because you're a cool guy. We had to talk about you a little bit. Shout out you for coming and watching the podcast and commenting. We're actually ending, so you gotta go back and watch. And
Absolutely. Jornell's another pillar of the underground coming up. He's gonna be one of these humongous artists.
undeniably.
And Sprout, he's sitting right here. He's been quiet the whole time, but these are all artists that are gonna be the pillars of this city.
Can't wait for that.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Until next time on Cube Talk. Be easy.
Peace.
I'm already about to do that. Much love, guys.
Oh, fire.
That was fire.
That was it.
Success.
Right, yo.